This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 2nd day of January in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and wishing you a Happy New Year. Now here's what we're tracking tonight. Guyana officially became a member of the United Nations Security Council today and will serve one of the most important UN organs for the next 2 years as a non-permanent member. During the flag installation ceremony at the UN headquarters in New York, Guyana's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Karen Rodriguez-Burkett, thanked the UN General Assembly for giving Guyana the opportunity to serve on the Security Council. She promised that Guyana will be one of the leading voices on the Council to ensure that peace and security are maintained across the world. The ambassador said the task of maintaining international peace and security is growing increasingly complex with multidimensional challenges, adding that the Security Council is therefore compelled to be proactive in addressing potential sources of conflict and come up with a comprehensive response to existing conflicts.
Guyana will be constructive in our approach to the work of the Council, fully committed to partnerships for the peace and prosperity of the world's people. We will seek a people-centered approach, including the involvement of women and youth in the search for solutions.
Guyana joins Algeria, the Republic of Korea, Sierra Leone, and Slovenia as the new members of the UN Security Council. Guyana has long said it will use its seat on the Council to champion a number of global issues and to also raise the ongoing territorial controversy with neighboring Venezuela.
Guyana has never wavered in its commitment to multilateralism and to promoting the principles and purposes of the United Nations. Guyana's pledge, therefore, led by His Excellency President Mohamed Irfan Ali, is to be guided by a firm adherence to the rule of international law, including the Charter of the United Nations, and to continue to work collaboratively to strengthen universal peace and security for a better world.
Meanwhile, the permanent representative of France to the UN, Nicolas de Rivière, who has taken over the presidency of the Security Council for the month of January, has welcomed Guyana and the other members to the Security Council.
Sitting in the Security Council is both an honor and a responsibility, especially at a time when regional crises are multiplying. I'm thinking in particular of the Middle East, Eastern Europe and Africa. We are looking forward to working with you for the 2 coming years to implement the mandate of this Council, preserving international peace and security, and to defend a multilateralism respectful of the values of the UN Charter.
The UN Security Council is made up of 15 countries, 5 of which, China, France, Russia, the UK and the US, are permanent members, granting them the right to veto any resolution or decision of the Security Council. More news coming up in just a moment.
My lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look, the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
It's your time to win big. The Massie Stores Christmas jackpot promotion is back and bigger than before. Spend $5,000 at any Massie Stores to be the lucky winner of a brand new MGZS and fantastic weekly store prizes from now until January 31st, 2024. What are you waiting for? Head to your nearest Massie Stores to shop now. See our Facebook and Instagram pages for more details. Massie Stores, our family serving your family.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions for you to check if you are listed and if your particulars are accurate. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023, a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. For inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were last registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person applying for a change or correction in his or her particulars must provide the relevant original documents: birth certificate and deed poll in the case of a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card in the case of name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who was registered in her married name but who is now desirous of returning to her maiden name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, naturalization certificate in the case of correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on January 15, 2024. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Buster, bust the flavors. Buster, bust the flavors.
Twice the fun. Twice the thrill. On your next trip with Copa Airlines, stop over in Panama and enjoy 2 vacations in one at no additional airfare. Because to live life at its fullest, first you have to stop. So next time you fly Copa Airlines, stop over in Panama at no additional airfare.
The Ministry of Labour has signaled its intention to intensify occupational safety and health training across the country, with heavy focus on the mining and construction sectors, as persons continue to lose their lives on the job. At a press conference today, Labour Minister Joe Hamilton disclosed that last year there were 20 fatal workplace accidents, with the majority of those taking place in the mining and construction sectors. When compared to the previous year, 2022, the 2023 figures represents a marginal decline in workplace deaths, moving a single spot down. Noting that one death is one too many, the Minister of Labour said the Labour Ministry intends to bring the number down to 0 by intensifying occupational health and safety training, while collaborating with key stakeholders on the issue.
Someone would ask the question, what's the big issue here? The big issue here is every death is a person, it's not a statistic. It's somebody's child, husband, father, some set of people mourning, some set of people having a funeral. And so for me, I don't treat these as statistics, and that's why we are doing everything possible to ensure that this can be reduced to 0. We have established several joint technical committees with partner agencies, whether private sector or public sector, to help to ensure that this fatality rate decreases.
Of the 20 deaths recorded last year, 9 were in the mining sector, with the majority occurring in Region 7. Additionally, 6 of the deaths occurred in the construction sector, with 4 of them occurring in Region 4. The other deaths were in the security, logging, vulcanizing, and transportation sectors. Given the alarming number of fatal accidents in the mining industry, the minister said the Labour Ministry will be partnering with the Guyana Georgian Mines Commission, the Guyana Gold Diamond Miners Association, and the Ministry of Health to develop a special training program aimed at providing miners with first aid training.
So one of the things that might contribute to this specific question that we're working on and we hope to implement this year along with partners is to do some training of a different sort. Medical first aid type training in mining areas, and not just mining areas, in the forestry areas, so that you'll have somebody on a mining site or in the camp who have some first aid training.
However, he said the Labour Ministry cannot do it alone, and he called for responsible action across the sectors.
Well, we continue to engage the miners. Our officers, they go there, they're taking brochures, they have meetings with them, they have training sessions, and all of those things. But importantly is the culture and the attitude. Once the guys, they see the gold thread, they don't care how the rain falling and the mountain will collapse. They're going behind the gold. And now you have another issue that has developed in the mining area, where once a place got good gold, as they say, when the people are not there working, they have people come in nighttime and work on the mining camp.
The Minister of Labour expressed concern too that workers may be silently dying in the agriculture sector over an extensive period as a result of malpractices, and as such, occupational safety and health training will be intensified in that sector as well. In the past 4 years, more than 75 deaths have been recorded in the workplace. Additionally, 175 non-fatal accidents were investigated last year, from a total of 577 reports. According to the Labour Ministry, a majority of those reports came from the agriculture and the manufacturing sectors. Turning our attention now to the education sector, preparations are set to begin this year for the rollout of free university education from next year. That's according to President Irfan. The President made the announcement during his New Year's address to the nation, while highlighting plans for the education and other sectors. While he did not offer details surrounding the free university education plan, the President announced that preparations for the move will begin this year. And during an appearance on the E-Network's Insider TV show, President Ali said already the government has been providing thousands of scholarships under the GOAL initiative, and that will create a more educated workforce.
We have already given more than 20,000 scholarships under the GOAL program. Now that will have a major cost, and also that will take more people into the university system, more people coming out with degrees. So more people entering at a higher level, which requires higher salaries. And that is both a public and private sector issue that we'll have to confront.
The President said this year's budget will see funding being set aside for major development in the nation's education sector. In last year's budget, more than $94 billion was allocated for the education sector, with additional funds supplied for the sector in the supplementary budgets that followed. Works on the new 4-lane bridge across the Demerara River at Linden are set to begin this year, according to the Public Works Ministry. During a recent press conference, Public Works Minister Juan Edgil said that mobilization for the construction of the new bridge will begin early this year. The new McKenzie Wisma bridge is estimated to cost about $35 million, and when completed, it will replace the existing 2-lane bridge.
The new 4-lane bridge at Wisma to link McKenzie and Wisma will begin work. Monies have been provided, contractor identified, and we are ready to go. Not a campaign promise, but we've gone beyond.
The government has engaged China Railway Construction Limited for the project. Under the previous government, an international engineering company had provided 4 possible designs for the bridge, which included provisions for 2-lane traffic and pedestrian walkways. But the current government had long said, when compared with the previous design, the proposed model, which includes 4 lanes, will cater for even more traffic and will be built at a lower cost. As it relates to the Linden-Mabura Road, the Minister of Public Works reported that physical progress is at 25%. He said the government was hoping that works would have been progressing at a faster rate.
They have completed 2,845 meters of drains, 18,960 meters of cement stabilized sub-base, 16,900 meters of cement stabilized base, and 16,330 meters of asphaltic concrete binder course.
And as it relates to the Quarantine River Bridge, the Minister of Public Works said that the procurement process has been completed and that the signed joint evaluation of both Guyana and Suriname is before a team for final evaluation. And once that evaluation has been completed and the 2 sides agree to it, then the process will be cleared for construction to begin. President Irfan Ali has promised that his government will continue its pledge to improve the lives of citizens as the new year begins. In his New Year's address to the nation, the president said the future of Guyana is bright and promising, and his government has set Guyana on a course of sustained growth and prosperity.
The new year, 2024, will see us advance more rapidly along this path as we shape the destiny of present and future generations. In the next couple of weeks, we'll unveil the 2024 budget. This budget will detail our expenditure and revenue plans for the coming year. It will deliver on our promise to continuously improve the lives of Guyanese.
The president also noted that in addition to continued improvements of infrastructural and public services this year, there will also be increased investments in agriculture and additional measures to cushion the effects of the rise in the cost of living.
Cost of living interventions will be made to cushion any spikes in prices in our economy. We want to put more money into the pockets of people. Our policy-making matrix will advance this ideal and idea of putting more money in the pockets of our people. Workers will continue to benefit from increasing their wages and salaries, augmenting the other measures which will take to enhance household disposable income.
Citizens across the country have been complaining bitterly about the rise in the cost of living, with public servants noting that the 6.5% salary increase announced for them will do very little to ease the strain of the higher prices in the marketplaces. Last year, the government introduced a menu of measures that were aimed at easing the cost of living woes, but the problem persisted, with prices rising steadily throughout the past year. President Ali highlighted a number of planned projects and major initiatives that will be rolled out in this year, noting that works will commence on the construction of a new international branded hotel near the Georgetown seawall.
Works will commence on the construction of a new international branded hotel near the Georgetown seawall. Ongoing construction of other hotels will be intensified. Guyana's energy security plans will be advanced through the ongoing works for the building of a gas-to-shore energy plant that will reduce energy costs. The hinterland electrification program will be expanded to bring electricity to more hinterland residents.
The president also said there will be additional investment to build up the country's defense capabilities, while attention will be paid to social and health programs to cover the population. He said this year will also see the rollout of a robust plan to further advance the security architecture and infrastructure of communities across Guyana and the country itself, while direct policies and policy orientation will be introduced to expand the tourism product.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more is eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted a preliminary list of electors, PLE, at popular locations in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether your particulars or that of other electors are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday, the 22nd of January 2024. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo. From its pristine rivers to its abundant resources, it's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31st, 2023, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you are required to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Monday, 15 January 2024 is the last day on which you can apply for a transfer. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-0278-9 or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Painting a picture of gloom, the leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, in his New Year's address, said the opposition will continue to heap pressure on the government until it implements measures to bring down the high cost of living and simultaneously ensure the fair and equitable allocation of the country's resources to the citizens of Guyana. The opposition leader said notwithstanding the country's abundance of resources, the government did very little last year to cushion the impact of the rise in the cost of living. The majority of Guyanese, he said, continue to live on the poverty line while depending heavily on remittances.
Most Guyanese would agree that the PPP made 2023 one of the hardest years in living Cameroon. On the economic front, the cost of living kept surging as real incomes declined. Poverty and inequality increased. Living from paycheck to paycheck became a tougher challenge. Many parents, especially single parents, could not afford to properly feed their children.
The opposition leader said that despite the hardships faced by citizens in 2023, the Airfinale administration did not show any urgency or capacity to ease the burden on the people. And alluding to the country's lucrative oil and gas sector, Mr. Norton said the vast majority of citizens of Guyana continue to be left in the cold.
Last year alone, the PPP spent close to $900 billion. That is almost $1 trillion. Yet, our country ranks among the worst on a range of human development or quality of life indicators. Guyana remains among the worst countries in which to live in terms of maternal and infant deaths, life expectancy, child poverty, food security, youth unemployment, and educational standards. Even more appalling, the PPP has made it crystal clear that it does not intend to pay a living wage. It does not intend to significantly raise the tax-free threshold and does not intend to significantly raise pensions and public assistance.
The opposition leader also said last year Guyanese witnessed further assaults by the government on governance and democracy.
Its assault on our freedom of expression and association reached even more dangerous heights, as the recent court summons serving a US-based political activist, Rick Ferberg, startly demonstrate.
He also said during the last year, cabinet ministers and loyalists to the PPP continued to flout the law and escape prosecution.
From the Darren Lara scandal, to the oil audit scam, to the unbridled corruption, Guyanese last year saw justice being perverted by those in high office as the government sunk deeper into immorality and depravity and corruption.
Mr. Norton said throughout those crises, the opposition carried on the fight and will continue to do so this year.
For now, as the opposition, on our agenda for 2024, we will steer the course in the fight for a fair, just and equitable Guyana. We will build more pressure on the government to implement cost of living relief measures and to ensure fair and equitable allocation of resources to our citizens. We will persevere in the defense of our democracy and constitutional order and the rights and liberties of citizens and communities. We will continue to expose government corruption, discrimination, and ineptitude. We will intensify our demand for a clean voters list and biometrics at the place of poll.
He also promised that the opposition will continue to be vigilant to prevent the squandering of Guyana's oil wealth and will not relent on that. The police arrested a college and East Coast Demerara man on New Year's Day after he attempted to smuggle several packets of marijuana into the Camp Street jail. The packets of marijuana were stashed in a bowl of soup. Police identified the alleged drug smuggler as Pradesh Balkashun. According to the prison service, he was at the prison on Monday to drop off personal items and food for prisoner Kapil Gangaden, who is currently being housed at the jail. The prison officer said while the food was being examined, several packets of marijuana leaves, stems, and seeds were found hidden in a number of pieces of dumpling in the large bowl of soup. The suspect was arrested as the police were contacted. He's now facing drug trafficking charges. The latest attempt at drug smuggling at the Georgetown prison has prompted the Director of Prisons, Nicholas Elliott, to emphasize that smuggling contraband into a correctional facility is a felony that has serious consequences. The Guyana Police Force has issued wanted bulletins for 3 men in connection with the attempted murder of businessman and contractor Safraz Khan. The businessman survived an execution attempt on the 6th of July last year, just outside his Camberville home. Those wanted for the attempted murder have been listed as Lennon Messiah of North Rhymeveld, Shannon Braxton of North Rhymeveld, and Joel Sars, who's also from the North Rhymeveld community. Investigators are this evening asking that anyone with information on the whereabouts of the 3 suspects contact the nearest police station or call 911. On the night of July 6 last year, the businessman Safraz Khan was sitting in his car just outside his Austin's Place Camberville home when he came under heavy gunfire from a gunman who was dressed in a yellow raincoat. The businessman, who is a firearm holder, reportedly returned fire when he came under attack. However, he was shot multiple times to the body. A surveillance video recording from a nearby property captured the raincoat-wearing gunman running away from the scene and jumping into a grey, heavily tinted motorcar that sped away from the area. The injured businessman Safraz Khan was rushed to a city hospital where emergency doctors saved his life. He later sought additional treatment overseas. A motive for the attack remains unknown. President Irfan Ali and Vice President Jago have joined other regional leaders in offering condolences to the people of Trinidad and Tobago on the passing of former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Basdio Pandey. Mr. Pandey, who was 90 years old, passed away on New Year's Day, according to a message from his family. He served as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago from 1995 to 2001 and also served as the opposition leader in that country for several years. He last visited Guyana last year. Both President Irfan Ali and Vice President Jago offered their condolences in separate messages last evening. In his message, the Vice President Jago remembered Basdio Pandey as a lawyer, politician, trade unionist, economist, actor, and a former civil servant. Vice President Jago said he hopes that Pandey's legacy will be a source of comfort and cherished memories for his family and the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE for all registration divisions at popular locations across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration if you are not listed, change correction to your particulars if they are incorrect, or object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Monday the 15th of January 2024. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday the 22nd of January 2024. All GCOM registration offices will be open Mondays to Fridays from 8 hours to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 hours to 14 hours. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-027-829 or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce and pet supplies, freshly made bread, rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at FoodMax and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. FoodMax, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, Mexican security services have freed 5 Venezuelans kidnapped over the weekend by gunmen, local authorities said on Tuesday, as they search for another 26 people snatched from a bus traveling to the border city of Matamoros. According to Reuters, the bus was intercepted on Saturday at the Reynosa-Matamoros route in the northern state of Tamaulipas, with 31 of the 36 people on board kidnapped, a spokesman at the state security office told Reuters. The spokesman did not give details on the 5 on board who were not kidnapped or the motive of the crime. Kidnappers often demand ransoms from their victims' families. Members of Mexico's National Guard freed the 5 Venezuelans after their kidnappers fled the vehicle in which they were transporting the migrants, the state's security body said in a statement. The Venezuelans told the authorities they were part of the group kidnapped over the weekend. Officials have said they're still investigating the crime. Brazil's record 2023 trade surplus may be tough to repeat this year. Private economists and government officials agree, as falling interest rates are expected to boost imports. Reuters, in a report, said Brazil's oil, mining and farm sectors have built a robust trade surplus over the past decade that is the envy of many regional peers. However, last year's surplus grew more than 50% from 2022 to nearly $100 billion, largely due to a 12% drop in imports, as the value of exports was almost flat. That dynamic is likely to change this year, analysts say, as fixed investments are seen rebounding from a 2023 slump due to falling interest rates and major public infrastructure projects drawing private partners. Data over the last decade show Brazil's fixed investments and imports typically move in tandem. In the third quarter, fixed business investment recorded its 4th straight quarterly drop, a sequence last seen in early 2016 when Brazil grappled with one of its worst recessions in history. And finally tonight, international news. Reuters, in a report, said all 379 people aboard a Japan Airlines JAL plane escaped the burning airliner after a collision with a Coast Guard aircraft at Tokyo's Haneda Airport that killed 5 of 6 crew on the smaller craft on Tuesday. Live footage and public broadcaster NHK showed the JAL Airbus A350 airliner burst into flames as it skid down the tarmac shortly before 6 p.m. Video and images shared on social media showed passengers shouting inside the plane's smoke-filled cabin and running across the tarmac after escaping via an evacuation slide. At one point, a child's voice can be heard shouting, "Let us get out quickly! Let us get out quickly!" All 365 passengers and 12 crew members were evacuated from the blazing airliner, but the fire was not extinguished until shortly after midnight, after burning for more than 6 hours. Broadcaster TBS reported, citing the fire department. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.